as it is, we're just hovering around this trend line, and it's very hard to make any decisions because this is the trend line which has been running since November, where we turned super bullish. It was a continuation of the earlier trend, but we turned super bullish in November, and so we need to break above that line. And again, I think we need to look at what Powell says, and if my theory is right, we go up tonight. We'll go up tonight, we'll go up tomorrow, but then we'll start coming down again after that, if we are to repeat the last two bullish FOMCs. I don't know if that makes sense. Chris, I don't know if you've got anything to add.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, we can.
Perfect. Chris, if you have anything to add, I'm going to jump into
Yeah,
Jupiter.
No, I was just going to say, for me right now, we hit the target we were looking at, which was that daily S1 pivot. That's also the EQ of the channel. If you draw the channel off the bear market swing low there. And so that was a good move off that. And we've got this local range that we had there from basically the beginning of the second week of December. And we've almost recovered that entire range. So for me, I think if we get a bit of a pullback, more of a pullback right here, I think we'll probably be looking, maybe around 41, 150 or so. But if we're breaking out higher from where we are right now, I think we're looking closer to like 44, 841 and a half, and then pulling back kind of toward that area and then going up. Locally here at the moment, the structure off that recent low here back on January 23rd, a couple of Tuesdays ago, it just looks, it's a very bullish structure coming off that right now. And so until something comes up for me that says something else other than that, I think, we continue to overall look higher still.
All right, Ryan, you there?
I'm here, sir.
All right, man. So I watched, just for the audience, if you haven't seen it, I've watched Rand do a live trading session with his audience. It's the first time I watched, even though I've been in crypto for a long time, first time I watched a live trading session. A bunch of Solana guys on stage. I know it's glitching for a few people. My mic is glitching as well. But essentially what happened is Rand goes on the Jupiter. So it's a pretty big airdrop that we talked about yesterday. And then Rand opens up his screen, waits for his airdrop because he owns a bunch of Solana. And then the audience is waiting for him, and then he's telling him when to trade it. I'm like, all right, let me see what Rand says, what the price does, so I can call him out in the space. And then Rand's like, guys, buy when it's under, when it hits under 70 cents. It launched at $2, like short it. You couldn't short it, there's no perpetuals, but he's telling audience to short it. I'm looking at the price now, it's at 76. Actually went as low as 68, 63, 60, just above 60, so about 63, 64. So Rand, I have to give you credit, even though I'm planning to give you shit. You actually got it pretty right. But tell us more about Jupiter, why the airdrop is interesting, and then how you come up with your price targets.
Okay, so look, what I did today was not magic. It was just a little bit of experience in trading these airdrops. Not the first airdrop I've traded. So, it wasn't genius, although I'd love to claim that it was. So I'll give you the logic behind. First of all, what is Jupiter? Jupiter is a trading platform. It's a decentralized trading platform on Solana. It's a DEX, decentralized exchange, or a DEX aggregator. It aggregates liquidity across DEXs. It is currently by far the majority of the trade on Solana. When I say the majority of the trade on Solana, probably 80 to 90% of the trade on Solana. Solana is also becoming very much the trading. So you're almost like investing in the DEX that is on the chain that is now home to the most trading. We spoke about that because not only are you trading Solana ecosystem projects, you're trading meme coins, which you ordinarily wouldn't be able to trade because the ETH gas fees are so high, but now you can trade meme coins. And then you're also trading, so it's the trading platform. Now, what they did today was they gave an airdrop to anybody who had used the platform, or by a certain date, they started airdropping you free tokens. And, we were anticipating these free tokens for a while. I think we've had a couple of shows about them. So that's the history to it. Now, one thing that I've learned where you can make a lot of money is trading these airdrops. And let me explain the logic to you behind trading these airdrops. so that you can understand what happened and why my logic took it. And if you guys want to see this in real time, go and watch my show, because I did it on my show. It was live. It was amazing to watch. So the airdrop happened. It started trading on all the exchanges at the same time, and it started trading at $2, which gave the protocol a fully diluted valuation of $20 billion, which is, I think, multiples, 3 times the multiple of Uniswap, just to give you an idea, that's a crazy valuation. The reason why that happened was because no one had their tokens to sell. Very few people had managed to claim their airdrop tokens, because you don't just get the airdrop tokens, you actually have to claim them. And very few people actually managed to claim their airdrop tokens. And so because very few people were able to claim their airdrop tokens, no one had any tokens to sell. And buyers who were buying into hype and didn't know anything about fundamentals.
The team in the back channel just sent, sorry to interrupt you, Jupiter will drop on Binance in 4 minutes. Not sure if that's, you know, follow the stuff.
It's pretty much on all the other exchanges. So maybe in 4 minutes, we'll see a bit of a price. Probably we'll see a price pump first, and then it'll dump. But anyway, let's carry on. So there was no one to sell. No one had their tokens. And then retail buyers come in and try and buy it. And a lot of buyers landed up paying $2, which is a ridiculous valuation. That's when you probably saw me saying, guys, if you have your tokens, sell them. You can buy them back cheaper. And if you can short them on any of the perpetuals exchanges, short now. And then I said, look, where would I be comfortable buying this? Because as more and more people are managing to claim their tokens, more and more people are managing to sell their tokens. And that will put sell pressure. And so initially I had a target of buying back the token somewhere between 60 and 70. And then that would be like the beginning of my buy zone, even though I don't think that's cheap. I think that's fun. You know, you buy it there, you sell it at 80. Again, you buy it, you know, it's going to go down again, you buy it back. And then it comes down to saying we're at fair value. And I think, to be honest, right now we're at fair value. I think this trade is dead at this level. I don't think there's too much value. I don't think it's cheap. I don't think it's expensive. And so I've got no interest in this trade now, unless it dips or it goes up. If it goes up above $1, then I go short. If it goes down below 40 cents, 50 cents, I buy. And then I just land up holding it, because I just think the thesis of owning some of the Jupiter USDT or the Jupiter, which is the biggest exchange on Solana, is a great thesis to be playing.
I'm actually curious from the audience, and I know we have Joe here to give us an update on Solana in general, but anyone in the audience, let us know in the comments if you were actually, but I'm not a holder of Jupiter. I don't know, Fran, do you still hold your Jupiter, or you sold them all?
Well, to be honest, I didn't manage to claim the airdrop during the show. You saw it was taking a long time to claim.
Yeah.
So to be honest, at this price, I'm not a buyer and I'm not a seller. So it's not even worth me claiming the tokens. I'll wait until tomorrow, claim it. There's no, unless this thing goes back to $1.20 today, which would be very, very, very unusual, I'm not selling. I'm also not buying, because it's not cheap. It's not cheap. If it goes to 50 cents or 40 cents, then I'll buy. But at these prices, no excitement.
Rooter?
Hey, yeah, so a bit of background. I'm Rooter, the founder of Solend, which is a Solana project. And yeah, we've been dealing with this Jupe airdrop just now. We just had a war room because the size of this airdrop is quite big, and we're all anticipating potential issues on the Solana network. Just because, you know, way in the past there have been some network issues, but right now seems to be smooth sailing for the most part. It's kind of interesting. You guys were talking about the Bitcoin ETF a bit earlier, and I was kind of thinking, like, in the same way that was the biggest event of the month for crypto Twitter, this Jupiter launch is the biggest event for everyone in Solana. Just to give a sense of, like, yeah, how much this means to us. Yeah, so for myself, actually, I've been using Jupiter for a while for a bunch of work stuff and with a bunch of different wallets. And I was extremely lucky to get like 165,000 Jupe tokens in an airdrop, which comes out to around $115,000 at current prices. So pretty nice thing to wake up to and see in the morning. And
what does that do to Solana, guys?
One second. I have a very important question here. So what are you going to do with your airdrop tokens? Are you going to keep them? Do you have any intention of dumping them? And if you have any intention of dumping them, maybe give me some insight as to what you would move them into.
Yeah, so what I'm planning to do with it is actually deposit them onto Solend. So Solend is soon going to be listing. So Solend is a lending borrow protocol on Solana. So people can deposit assets and borrow them, and you get yield when you deposit, and you can do over collateralized loans, kind of like Compound or Aave on Ethereum. So basically, Jupe is going to get listed very soon, and there are also going to be incentives. And I'm anticipating to be quite a bit of borrowing activity because a lot of people are going to be shorting in order to hedge. And so I think interest rates could be maybe like 50%, TBD to see like what it'll actually be. But yeah, and Solana is also we're running incentives. So yeah, I'm planning to hold my bags. Big supporter of the Jupiter team. So we'll kind of wait and see what happens.
Yeah, I think, by the way, this is Joe. I just want to comment on a couple of things here. So, first, this isn't an airdrop where you just get to buy it or sell it. That's just absurd to think about it that way. Number one, to Reuter's point, you can deposit it in Solid. Number two, you can deposit it into Drift. And now you can actually use that as cross margin collateral for trading perps or other spot tokens. The utility of this airdrop is way bigger than, oh, I got a free stimulus check. Let me dump it at some price. That's just the dumbest thing you could possibly do with this airdrop. I'm actually buying more because this thing is dramatically undervalued for the actual roadmap that these guys actually
Well, you can't,
have.
but you can't. You can say, but hold on. But when you say dramatically undervalued for the roadmap, I think you say this about every token that exists is undervalued relative to the roadmap. But the question is, can they deliver the roadmap? Can competitors eat up their piece of their pie? So I'd say like would you say it's undervalued based on where they are today, excluding the roadmap? You can be bullish on the roadmap, but just where they are today, you say you're bullish or bearish?
Oh my God. Yeah, of course. I put out a Twitter thread last night specifically covering this topic. Like, a lot of people are trying to compare Jupiter to Uniswap, which is just categorically wrong. There's no comparison between the two. You basically have a constant product market maker, Dex, versus Jupiter, which is an entire platform and suite of products. The team is lights out. They've been shipping nonstop through the prior bull, the bear, and now, and just executed the largest airdrop in the history of Solana, and it's going off without a hitch. In fact, if you check the bird eye chart right now for Jupe, this is a straight DCA program that's just going straight up. There is no selling here. And so this is, again, like the idea that this is some, like, everybody gets an airdrop, it's going to dump, and then it's going to rip, and then it's going to dump, and then it's going to rip, are just completely missing the product suite that they have delivered on and will continue to actually deliver on.
Joe, help me out here. Why is Jupiter a project that you wouldn't want to hold tokens for? Let's balance it out, Joe. And go.
Mario,
I can't hold it. I
just
can't
quickly before
balance
you
it
carry
out
on,
because I hold it. And Ram, you need to go claim.
Oh,
I would
shit.
not wait till tomorrow because when they ran a test with Wen, they had a time limit on it. I don't know if Joe would know because Joe's like the OG of Solana.
End of July. You've got plenty
got a
of
long
time.
time. It can't be a 24-hour time period. It's got to be a reasonable time period for you to claim. So it's not going to be 24 hours. That I can promise you.
It's till the end of July. You have plenty.
Yeah, we've got plenty of time. Listen, we've missed the trade. Just a quick one. I just read something which I think might be amazing for other people to hear. But FTX just said it expects to pay crypto customers in full, all their crypto customers in full in the bankruptcy liquidation, which I think is
Holy
fantastic
shit.
news. That's the first time.
Hold on. So essentially, Juan, I'm going to go to you. So are you saying that everyone that had money in FTX will get all their money back?
Correct. Now, they haven't elaborated as to whether it's going to be crypto or USD or what needs to be.
So essentially, hold on. So Sam was right when he said that all customers could be made whole, and probably he's referring to the AI investment that did well.
Yes, but I think, so all customers will be made whole. Yeah,
that's after paying all the legal fees as well.
That's after paying all the legal fees. But don't forget that like the equity holders will probably take a bath, and I think maybe the debt holders will probably take a bath. But remember that they've had some great trades. That AI one, remind me the name?
Anthropic.
The big one, the one that Amazon, Anthropic, correct. That was a big trade, and you had the price recovery. But then also in the same announcement, we also heard that they are not restarting the exchange, which means all the speculation around the FTT token, which I did say at the time I was very short. Shouldn't have closed my short, but I did close my short. They're not restarting the exchange. So that exchange is now not restarting.
Zach, Zach, you just came in. Juan, if you've got comments on just the FTX story, because I know you want to talk about Jupiter as well. That's when you put your hand up. But Zach or Juan, any more insight on the FTX story of all customers being made whole?
No, I personally, Zach, go ahead. You probably have more insight on that. I was going to comment on Jupiter and the impact on the Solana ecosystem, but I can do that.
That would be great. I'd love to get your thoughts on that, Juan, afterwards. Zach,
Yeah,
any
I
more
was just going
insight
to
on
say,
the FTX story?
I don't think it's quite fair to give Sam credit for what he said before. He did not know that the AI equity was going to go up as high as it did. He was talking specifically about the amount of crypto and fiat that FTX had. And look, they got remarkably lucky on some of their venture holdings, but this is, I think this is just a stroke of luck and not in any way exonerating of the leadership at FTX.
Exactly.
Yeah, can I?
It's not, just to be clear, it's not, definitely not exonerating. It's someone breaking the law, they broke the law. There's a lot of equity holders got screwed. Other people unrelated to FTX got screwed. So yeah, definitely not that. But I was just kind of giving credit for the trades they've made and the team,
but it's not
the work that the team has done.
I agree. It is. I mean, I think it looks like to be a positive outcome for creditors who are still there in the end. But like this is like where did he get the money to invest in those companies, right? Like we believe he stole it from his users. So I mean, it's like if you rob a bank and then you happen to make investments that after you get caught go up enough to pay back the bank, like that is not okay. Right?
Or you go to Vegas and you put it on the roulette wheel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like, I don't know. There was an article that two friends of his parents, two law professors at one of them at Stanford, the other one who's a member of the National Bureau of Economic Research, literally argued that this was exonerating and that if the public had known, then they wouldn't view him the same way. And that is just total bullshit, right? It is a crime to steal money from people. It doesn't matter if you happen to make good investments with that money.
And just to be clear for the audience, so that doesn't impact the criminal proceedings against Sam and the
it doesn't.
He'll get. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
Juan, go ahead,
isn't CZ getting sentenced too?
Yeah, we were just talking about him earlier today. He's in the US. He's still in the US. I don't know what the date is. Zach, have you been following that?
Yeah, I don't know the exact dates, but this is a pretty common thing to argue when you have a high-profile, very wealthy defendant about whether they are a flight risk if they leave the country. And his latest argument is that he is a family member who's having surgery and he needs to be there. But the court is skeptical that he will ever return to the United States if he's allowed to go to Dubai.
I'm to be worried that because we were talking earlier that he probably won't go to jail for too long. So for the court to be skeptical, when does the sentencing happen, Zach?
I don't know the exact date. I think it was late this year. Like it's months from now.
No. The sentencing is in February, guys. It's CZ is getting sentenced in February.
Yeah, I think he's scheduled to have a sentence in February 24th. So I don't know when he would actually start in the sentence, but
yeah, I would also not be surprised if that gets pushed back. So in a case like this, especially where the defendant has a lot of resources, the defendant does a very lengthy sentencing submission. The government, the prosecutors do a submission, and then essentially the Department of Corrections do a submission, and the judge reviews that. And this is a pretty high-profile thing. I would be pretty surprised if it's all done in February, even if that's the current date.
Right.
Juan, you were jumping in on the Jupiter airdrop and the impact on the Solana ecosystem. I think it would be a good place to kind of end the space. I apologize for interrupting you earlier, but I love when breaking news happens.
Yeah, no, that's amazing to hear. Good for the depositors getting their money back. On Jupiter and the Solana ecosystem, yeah, I'm very positive as well on Jupiter. They're doing an amazing job. I mean, just this week they've topped the charts of DEX volume, and with 480 million on Monday, that even topped Uniswap. So that's an incredible traction that we're seeing on Jupiter, and I think that reflects very well on the traction we're seeing on the Solana ecosystem. It's actually, the fundamentals are on fire. Transaction volume on Solana has surged to 950 billion for the month of January. That's up 30% month over month, and up from just 40 billion in September 2023. So it's really catching fire. New addresses on Solana have hit their highest level ever, as well as a result of the traction on Jupiter, the when frenzy, meme coin frenzy. And a lot of stablecoin trading as well. We're seeing this month January is on track to be the second best month for Solana signups ever, and December on third place, and they're up more than 10 million new addresses and counting for January alone. So you're really seeing strong fundamental traction on Solana, which I think is reflecting well for the ecosystem. We saw it top at about $120 in December, and had since come down to about 80 and is now at about 100. But I think it's going to have another fantastic year. Obviously, it was up 939% last year, and there's also the lag effect of people chasing the price action this year. But I think the fundamental support continued growth as well.
Yeah, and by the way, let's be clear here. This Jupiter airdrop is the biggest test of Solana's network in history. A lot of the fudders and people that are, ETH maxis or anti-Solana fans, they have been talking about the reliability of the network for so long. This didn't even cause an issue whatsoever. Yes, certain people may have had delayed, but that's with RPCs, and you should expect that with high activity on the network. But the network didn't fall over, the network didn't pause, the network didn't stop. So this is extremely bullish from the technology perspective of what Solana can actually do and provide to Web3 and crypto more broadly. That just isn't possible on any other chain today.
Yeah, definitely. And I want to add a couple things. Just a quick note about the FTX thing. I was just thinking like, oh man, I'd rather talk about Jupiter, who's giving away a bunch of free money to people, than FTX stealing people's money, right? I'm just trying to forget that I had a bunch of money in there as well. But
hold on,
yeah,
but you're getting that money back.
Yeah, I guess so. So
I don't know why you want to forget it. So congratulations on that.
Well, yeah. Hopefully, we'll see. But yeah, I think Jupiter, this launch is just the beginning. There's so much more good stuff to look forward to on Solana. If anything, there's going to be a lot more airdrops soon because people are seeing the success of this and trying to replicate it. Yeah, there's a lot of projects with no tokens yet that are yet to launch. Actually, Solend is recently we announced an expansion to Sui, which will be launching a token and doing an airdrop to Sui to Solend users and token holders. So yeah, it's definitely say like there's a lot more airdrop farming plays to be made, and this is just the beginning.
Yeah, I think Solana's getting.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Drew, to finish off.
Yeah, just want to add one last thing, like a little tip for people who are claiming Jupiter tokens. If you have like a lot of different wallets, like I do, and if you're trying to dump it, not like me, I'm trying to hold it and put in Solend. But one interesting thing you can do is you can short the perps on Avo, and then you can just go and claim it later. So you basically hedge, and then you can because it takes a long time to actually go through all your wallets and if there are RPC issues or whatever, you can kind of delay that for later. And Julian, the founder of Avo, is here, so it would be cool to hear him speak a little bit later as well.
Now we're going to wrap up, Julian, but we're welcome. We'll do another Solana space. We'll bring you up. But otherwise, I think we've covered this well. I think Solana's getting a lot of attention now. Such a different type of attention to when FTX collapsed. Who would have thought a year ago that a year later, or whatever, how long it's been, FTX customers will be made whole and Solana will be where it is today. So congratulations on people like Rooter that are in the Solana ecosystem and have money on FTX. Probably a good day for you, man. But I think that's it.
Yeah.
Ryan, anything else to add, Ryan?
No, FOMC meeting later. If you guys want to join us, we're going to be trading it live on Banter Plus. Also, I mean, if you don't mind, let me just do a plug for one of our products. You saw that I had a very quick access to the breaking news. That is because we have a product called Banter Bubbles. Now, Banter Bubbles, on the one hand, is a bunch of bubbles that show you how the prices are moving. But on the other hand, there's a newsroom function, which is where our 40 researchers are basically living, and they drop the research as soon as they find it. And I find that one of the best depositories of news. So go check it out. Let me know what you think, banterbubbles.com, and go and click on the newsroom function. You can literally watch the news scrolling while the bubbles are moving.
And go to mariobubbles.com. I think this is a different. So Banter Bubbles is for market analysis. Mario Bubbles, it's a bit more fun. You press on the bubbles, and if they pop in time, I think you win some money. So if you want to play a game with Mario Bubbles, go there. Banter Bubbles if you want to trade and get some news. And I think that's it for everyone. And Scott, what's Scott Bubbles ran? just click on the bubble and get a depressing note or depressing quote for the day. This is Scott Bubbles. But I think